There are natural phenomenal people out there. Phenoms and their physiques look incredible. I believe Simian Panda is natural.
He believes that Simian Panda is natural. What's next? Mike O'Hearn also natural? Of course he is.
Status arrested.
Coach Greg, in today's video, we're going to be going over the various ridiculous answers that natural bodybuilders gave versus enhanced bodybuilders in terms of what they think about steroids.
Name's Jubilee, and dude, I get it.
Natural bodybuilding is the only honest form of bodybuilding. Agreeers, please step forward.
This is a ridiculous question. If you enter a non-tested bodybuilding competition, you're allowed to use steroids. It's common knowledge that you're allowed to take whatever you want. If you enter a drug-tested bodybuilding competition, it's common knowledge that you're supposed to be drug-free. And so clearly the answer is whether you're enhanced or natural, they're both honest so long as you compete in the appropriate organization.
It's the only real, honest, authentic form of bodybuilding because you're going with nothing outside of what you could achieve by natural means.
What about creatine? What about Turk Max? What about pre-workout Monster energy drinks? And so if natural bodybuilding is the only honest form of bodybuilding, where do we draw that line? The answer is we can't, and so we shouldn't, and therefore it's not the right answer.
We all have one genetic buildup, one that God gave us. Why can't we just take what is given to us and see what we can make out of it? But I just feel like human beings always have to take it to the next step.
What was given to us? Was creatine given to us? What about marijuana? Where do you draw that line? Caffeine was once banned by WADA. It was a drug. Caffeine's a drug. It's given to us in coffee beans. Can you, in fact, take 5 pounds of it, be hopped up on caffeine? Is that, in fact, cheating?
Natural bodybuilding is not as unhealthy as taking drugs.
Okay, so getting yourself down to 5% body fat where your testosterone plummets to the single digits, that's healthy?
Mark brings up a great point. Just because you're a natural bodybuilder doesn't mean that you're healthy. If you diet down to 5% body fat and you suppress your natural production of testosterone, you're, for example, a female, you're amenorrheic, how is any of that healthy?
To compete at a level that doesn't look like shit, to look amazing like that guy, you're gonna be unhealthy.
And just because you're on steroids also doesn't mean that you're not healthy. You could be prescribed HRT from your doctor, you're at normal physiological levels of testosterone, you're perfectly healthy, and you compete in bodybuilding. But you can't be natural because you are in fact enhanced. Does that make sense to you?
The body positivity movement has gone too far.
Everyone should be stepping forward. Body positivity has gone way too far.
We should help them lose weight. We should tell them that is not good. To celebrate something that will inevitably lead to them dying, that is something we should not celebrate.
And so here's the problem. I agree, we shouldn't glorify obesity. It's literally unhealthy. Why would we glorify doing things that are unhealthy? But the same could be said about bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is not healthy. And so why are we glorifying bodybuilders? Does anyone not believe that Chris Bumstead has been glorified, that many people aspire to be like him? But it's literally unhealthy in the same way that it's unhealthy to be obese. The only difference between the two is when you're a bodybuilder and you're unhealthy, people like that look. They like it, you had to work hard for it, and so you are given the pass. Hey, even though you abuse steroids and you're unhealthy, that's okay. But should either be glorified? Honestly, if I'm thinking about it and I'm being logical, neither should be glorified. Neither enhanced bodybuilders nor being obese should be glorified. Whether all that extra weight comes from fat or from muscle, it's not good. If you're 300 pounds of muscle or 300 pounds of fat, both are unhealthy.
I think you guys are so concerned about what other people are doing with their bodies. Like, your definition of happiness is not the same as theirs.
And so Togi thinks that, well, you should let anyone do anything that makes them happy. Whether they want to sniff creatine, whether they want to do Addis lace with math. But here's the thing. We shouldn't be glorifying this and we shouldn't be encouraging this. It's one thing for them to actually do it. And you can say, hey, look, they're an adult. It's their choice. They can do what they want. But remember, it is in fact breaking laws. You can't just break a law and get away with it. There are laws for many reasons. For example, you can't go and rob someone just because it makes you happy. You can't go and drive 200 kilometers an hour on the highway, even though you're driving a McLaren. it's not safe, and so you're not allowed to do it. Sniffing creatine, doing addies laced with meth, also not safe, and so we probably shouldn't just let people do that, even if they want to. And the reason is it's dangerous and it's bad, and we should be looking out to protect our fellow neighbor.
If you go to the doctor and you're fat as shit, no doctor in America is gonna be like, you're good. Just because one magazine says it's okay to be fat as shit doesn't mean that's this massive epidemic that we need to fix.
The problem is that's exactly what's happening. People are being told, you're fat, you're still healthy. Healthy at any size, it's literally a slogan.
Steroid use leads to unrealistic standards. My coach at the time was saying, if you want to do well, you got to take some shit, bro.
Because of steroids, the bar has been set so high that even when you have an amazing physique, people say it's mid. Alex Eubank comes to mind. Greek god aesthetics, an amazing physique, but yet constantly he's been told, this is mid. Made fun of by other people in the gym. Hey, I'm mogging Alex. And so what was the result? Alex decided to go on steroids. He called it HRT, but we all know what it was. It's a dose of testosterone that's higher than what he needs. This comes from the fact that steroids have led to unrealistic physiques. We see it in movies, it's glorified, literally Captain America. The greatest example of all time. He's a skinny little nerd, he's working hard, he's trying his best, but he didn't have the size, didn't have the muscles. They inject him with a substance, probably a performance-enhancing drugs. Suddenly he's jacked and saving the world. And so what does that teach us? It teaches us that if we want to be something, if we want to make something of ourselves, we should be using steroids. And then we can be heroes. Think of the message that sends to your young ones and will wonder they grow up wanting to be enhanced.
The problem is they see these unrealistic people and they think they can get there. Then they get disappointed when they don't get those kind of gains.
Exactly. When you see transformations that people make while on steroids, and then you go to the gym, you're inspired by this. Oh, that guy, he put on 20 pounds in 12 weeks. And then you go and you only put on 3, and you're thinking, well, that was useless. What a waste of time. The only reason you feel that way is because the bar was raised too high. Your expectations are through the roof. And so no matter how great your results are, they're going to pale in comparison to those who are on steroids. Hence the reason why steroids are so bad, setting unrealistic expectations for everyone.
The fact of the matter is there are natural phenomenal people out there. Phenoms and their physiques look incredible. I believe Simian Panda's natural.
He believes that Simian Panda is natural. Anyone that says that, I automatically doubt their own natty status. Perhaps he's been dieting for too long, his brain cells aren't working, or perhaps he was even on steroids. I don't know what to make of this. What's next? Mike O'Hearn, also natural? Of course he is.
Status arrested.
Bodybuilding has improved my sex life.
I can tell you without question that it's hurt it. You're expecting me to say, no, it made it way better. When you're bodybuilding, you're going to be single-digit body fat. And when your body fat levels go down, your sex drive, it also goes down. I don't care if you're on testosterone. I don't care what you're taking. But if you're a bodybuilder, the last thing you're going to be thinking about is trying to have sexy time. You're going to be thinking like Mike Israetel on how to get a proper tan. And when you regain the weight, what often happens to people is they don't like their own physique. It's not helping your sex life. And not only that, although for some it's true that once you go jacked, you never go back. But often what happens is when you're a bodybuilder with so much muscle, many women, they don't actually like that. It's too much. And so there's a difference between just being somebody who lifts weight, who has a great physique, someone who's actually a bodybuilder. Most women, they don't like bodybuilders.
Definitely seen what you guys said when it comes to like women and stuff. The reason why I didn't step forward is just because I'm religious.
And so Hussein Farhat, a lot more like Sam Sulek than we think. And no, not because he's using steroids. Hussein 100% natural, but because he's very religious. He's staying away from the ladies. Because of his religious beliefs, he can't do that deed.
Yeah, just like, I don't know, how do you do that? Like,
What do you mean?
like, how do you stay pure?
And Shizzy, of course, says, how do you do that, bro? How? He said, well, it's kind of like steroids. Once you've done it, it's hard to stop. But if you haven't done it yet, it's easier to maintain that path.
There's no such thing as too much muscle.
Yeah, dude, there's nobody bigger than this. And do you feel like you have too much muscle?
I do believe that there is. Once you get a certain amount of muscle, it's going to negatively impact your health. Does it look cool? Well, if you want to look like a freak, it is. But the same question could be phrased as this. Is there such a thing as too much of that ass?
Everybody say it with me. That ass. That ass.
Is there? Well, maybe. I mean, it's fun to scroll through Instagram and see the craziest booties of all time, but in reality, is too much. But the same question can be applied to the chest of the female variety. Is there such a thing as too big? Yes, there is too much. Now, granted, it seems the bigger they are, the more attention that they get. But is it the positive attention that you want? I don't think so. And so the BBLs out there, the 1,000cc implants, it's too much.
It's a little different though, because of my height being 6'1". I mean, I think there's way bigger guys.
And so listen to Eric Janicki. You're 6'1", 280 pounds. Yeah, but there's bigger than me. I'm not really that big. Bro, you're 280, single-digit body fat.
Yeah, like Nick Walker, but if you, like, first of all, Nick Walker's alive. He's super rich and successful because he has that much muscle, and he seems like he's probably pretty happy.
Did he just say that Nick Talker is happy? The guy who pulled out not once or twice, and I'm not talking about his girlfriend, I'm talking about the Mr. Olympia. Do you really think that that guy is happy? Did he look happy? And does he look healthy to you? With all that muscle, is it not possible that too much of a good thing is actually bad?
There's no such thing as too much muscle. I train really hard every single day, especially naturally. You're not going to be able to get anywhere close to you.
And so Hussein brings up a good point. If you're natural, no such thing as too much muscle. If you're 100% natural, you can train your entire life. You're not going to be massively huge. But if you're on performance-enhancing drugs, absolutely, you could have too much muscle.
Would consider myself an intelligent human to know the fact that like this size is not healthy long term.
Eric himself says, look, even I realize that I have too much muscle. I can't sustain this for life. I care about my health. I have a family, but my brand relies on me having more muscle than last time. Remember, Eric made the conscious decision to not anymore chase after his IFBB Pro card. And why do you think that is? It's not healthy. And so overall, in the long term, he eventually plans to downsize as he knows having that much muscle, it's not healthy. And so the answer to the question is, yes, of course, you can have too much muscle.
Natural bodybuilding is the future.
Unfortunately, I wish I could agree with this. Natural bodybuilding is the future. I would love if that could be the future. However, we know that it's not. I've made numerous suggestions. We're trying to get smaller bodybuilders, for example, adding in classic physique light, having weight classes with weights that are smaller. But what does the Olympia do? They keep adding to the weights. And so classic physique, originally, they were a lot smaller. But year after year, they add in more pounds and let the guys get bigger. And so why do you think that is? People are attracted to the freaks, the size. If natural bodybuilding were actually the future, we would be seeing more and more natural bodybuilders competing in natural bodybuilding. But this isn't the case.
You guys are going to come forward and write on this piece of paper who you think has the best physique here, and you can put your own name as well.
The last question was, which guy has the best physique? They voted, the results are in, and the winner is, it's Josh. Now, here's the thing. Josh is dressed in a tank top and he's lean. He has a lot of muscle. But here's the thing. If they were all dieted down with their shirts off, flexing, the opinions could be a lot different. For example, Niall, he has an amazing, ridiculous IFBB Pro men's physique body. Mark Lobliner, he's an old man like Coach Greg, and so of course it's going to hurt him. Josh, younger, good-looking guy, has a lot of muscle, and of course he has a proper tan. Well, he gets the nod. But if you ask which physique most people would aspire to, I do believe it would be Hussein. Now, who has the best physique in my view? It's Eric Janicki by a landslide. It's not even close, but perhaps it's because he's the moderator. He wasn't voted. But remember, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. They might look at Eric and think, that is way too much muscle. But from the point of view of a female or perhaps a young male training in the gym, I do believe they would more likely aspire to look like Hussein than anyone else.
I'm a fitness influencer, and it's like, I promote taking steroids. So it's like, I'm really just saying is,
And so to sum up, what I took away from this was don't listen to Togi. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you like it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. Of course, if you want the Turk Max, if you want GLP Max, if you want GO2 Max, anything to the max, get to the website, code Greg, 15% off. Of course, if you have no money, get to the website. You get the free diet and training program. It's free. It's close to 50 pages. There's multiple ones to choose from. And so what more could you want? And until next time, I am out.